In this video, I'm going to break down the psychology behind this confusing behavior. You'll see why women retreat when emotions run high, what it really means about how she feels about you, and most importantly, how you should handle it without losing your cool. Because once you get this, you'll realize her pulling away isn't always rejection. Sometimes it's the biggest sign she's falling for you. 1. She tests your strength by pulling away. Here's something most men never realize. When a woman pulls away, she isn't always rejecting you. Many times she's testing your strength. And no, I don't mean physical strength. I'm talking about emotional strength, your ability to remain calm, steady, and centered when things get confusing. See, attraction for women is deeply tied to trust. She wants to know if you can handle her moods, her emotions, and even her fears. So when she suddenly grows distant, it's often her subconscious way of asking, is this man strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet, or will he crumble the moment I step back? Most men fail this test. They panic, they blow up her phone, they demand answers, or they beg for reassurance, and in doing so, they reveal insecurity, the very thing that kills attraction. But the man who understands this psychology doesn't chase. He stays calm, he lets her breathe, he keeps living his life. And ironically, this is what draws her back, because it shows her he's not needy, he's not desperate, and he's not afraid of losing her. Here's the controversial truth. When she pulls away, it's less about you doing something wrong and more about her wanting to feel that you're strong enough to handle her pullbacks. She needs to see that you won't collapse under pressure. If you do, she loses respect. If you don't, her attraction grows stronger. Imagine this. You're dating a woman, things feel amazing, and then suddenly she stops texting as much. Most guys would fire off 10 messages, asking if something's wrong. But instead, you send one light text, then focus on your own life. A few days later, she comes back more interested than ever. Why? Because you passed her unspoken test. You showed strength instead of weakness. 2. Her fear of vulnerability masks desire. Here's a truth most men never see. This is why a woman might push you away right when things feel the most intense. It's not because she doesn't care. It's because she doesn't want to feel like she's losing control. When the emotions get too strong, when she senses she's falling harder than you, she may create distance as a way to pull back the balance. It's her way of saying, I can't let myself fall too fast. I need to be the one steering this. Think about it. You've probably noticed how a woman will sometimes pull away right after an amazing date or a moment of closeness. It feels confusing to you, but to her, it's about regaining a sense of control over her emotions. If she feels like she's giving too much of herself, she'll take a step back to restore balance. Here's the part most men struggle with. Chasing harder only makes her feel like she's lost control completely, and she'll retreat even further. But when you stay steady, when you let her pull back without panicking, it reassures her that she can lean in without losing her sense of power. The reality is, women want both love and control. They want to feel cared for, but they also want to feel like the connection is happening on their terms. And if you understand this, her pulling away starts making sense. It's not rejection, it's her way of making sure she doesn't lose herself in you. 4. Mixed signals are a power play. Every man has been there. You're sure a woman is interested, and then suddenly she's cold, distant, or acting like she doesn't care. One moment she's affectionate, the next she's pulling away. It feels confusing, frustrating, and almost like she's playing with your head. And here's the hard truth. Sometimes she is. Mixed signals are not always accidents. For many women, they're a form of power play. By giving you attention and then taking it away, she keeps you on your toes. She makes you question where you stand, and in doing so, she gains the upper hand. Have you ever noticed that just when you're finally getting close to a woman, just when you think things are going great, she suddenly starts pulling away. She stops replying as fast. She seems distant, maybe even a little cold, and you're left scratching your head, wondering, what did I do wrong? Well, here's the controversial truth. Many times, you didn't do anything wrong. In fact, she may be pushing you away because she actually wants you more than she's ready to admit. And I know, that sounds completely backwards. Why would a woman act uninterested in the very man she desires? The answer lies in female psychology. Attraction for women is rarely straightforward. Men are used to moving toward what they want. But women? Many have been conditioned to do the opposite. When the emotions get too intense, when the connection feels too real, fear kicks in. Fear of rejection, fear of losing control, fear of being vulnerable. And the easiest way for her to protect herself is to push you away. Now, this might sound frustrating, even unfair. But once you understand why this happens, you stop taking it personally. You stop chasing harder when she pulls back. And instead, you learn how to respond in a way that makes her respect you more and want you even deeper. Sometimes the reason a woman pushes you away isn't because she doesn't want you. It's because she actually wants you too much. And that level of desire terrifies her. For many women, getting close to a man means opening up emotionally. It means being seen, being understood, and risking rejection at the deepest level. Vulnerability feels like weakness, and weakness feels dangerous. So even when she's drawn to you, she'll often cover it up by acting distant, cold, or uninterested. It's not that the feelings aren't there, it's that the feelings are too strong. This is why a woman might ignore your calls right after an intimate date, or suddenly go quiet when she realizes she's starting to fall for you. It's not logical, it's emotional. She wants you, but her fear of losing control makes her retreat. And here's where most men mess up. They assume her distance means rejection, so they either chase harder or walk away completely. Both moves kill the attraction. The man who understands female psychology responds differently. He doesn't get upset or needy. He doesn't demand answers. Instead, he recognizes her pullback for what it is, fear of vulnerability, and gives her space without losing his presence. This reassures her that she can open up without being judged, pressured, or smothered. Here's the controversial twist. The colder she acts, the stronger her feelings often are. Her distance is just the mask she wears to protect herself. If you stay calm and consistent, she eventually drops that mask and lets the real desire show. Imagine a woman who spends an amazing weekend with you, laughing, flirting, and clearly enjoying herself. The next week, she barely texts. Most men panic, thinking she's lost interest. But instead of reacting, you give her space, stay confident, and continue with your life. By Friday, she reaches out again because deep down, she wanted you all along. She just needed time to deal with the fear of being vulnerable. 3. She wants control, not just love. Here's something most men overlook. When it comes to relationships, women don't just want love, they want control. And this is where things get tricky. Men often think, if I just love her enough, treat her right, and give her everything she wants, she'll be happy. But love alone isn't enough. Women don't only crave emotional connection. They also crave influence over the dynamic. They want to feel they have power in the relationship, power to decide how fast things move, when the intimacy deepens, and even how much of yourself you reveal. This constant push and pull forces you to invest more emotional energy into figuring her out, while she sits back and watches how you respond. It's a test, but it's also a strategy. Because the moment you start chasing harder, the moment you start scrambling for clarity, she knows she has influence over you. And that influence makes her feel secure. In her mind, if you're confused and hooked, she's in control. Now, to most men, this feels manipulative, and in many ways, it is. But here's the reality. You can't stop women from sending mixed signals. It's built into the way attraction works for many of them. What you can do is decide how you respond. The man who reacts with frustration, anger, or desperation gives her exactly what she wants. Proof that she can control his emotions. But the man who stays calm, who doesn't overreact to the push and pull, flips the game. The controversial truth here is simple. Mixed signals are less about confusion and more about control. Women want to feel powerful in relationships, and sometimes that means keeping you guessing. If you don't